we are being sent America's news outlets no longer
That's you over there?
see
Mm.
investigative.
It. They just gave your page a commercial.
No way. That is good. That is very good.
I just skipped the ad.
Good. Yeah, keep going now. Okay. Let's start the let's start the chat room today, and then the how you call it? Let's start as well. Let's start today the chat so we can start looking at it. Start with the music. Me, I know some of you guys already are watching, so we're gonna start the chat room in about 2 minutes. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. Welcome back to Ricky 365. My name is Freak, and this is your channel today. We have on the chat room Linda. Let me introduce to you guys my co-host. It's Lisa Escobedo. So, guys, welcome to the live updates on George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. Is that right?
Yes, Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery. So, what is going on? Oh, Josué Pérez now following Josué. Muchas gracias por estar siguiendo el canal. We appreciate you guys a lot, man. So we're talking about what's happening. If you can see on the screen, there's a protest, a peaceful protest. And this is beautiful. I think if from the beginning Americans will act this way, we will have an amazing outcome from the death of George Floyd. Lisa, tell me how's your days been?
My day consisted of a lot of napping. We ran really late last night. Well, you got to remember, I'm on the East Coast, so it was like 3 in the morning before we were done. I slept all day. I did clean my bathroom.
Oh, that's an upgrade, rather. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. So you mentioned that your house is for sale. Looks like you will be moving. Do you have a timeline for that?
Yeah, I would just the house. Well, the closing should be over probably at the end of the month, and then I'll probably be in a hotel for a couple of weeks because don't move into a new place until sometime in the middle of July.
Wow. Wow. So I want to show people on the chat room, and the people that are watching, people that are not probably seeing this. So I'm gonna put a video of what happened to Ahmaud Arbery a couple weeks ago. So as you guys know, this is a vehicle following them, recording the whole issue, the incident. The link will be on the description below. And they capture when Ahmaud Arbery start, walking across the road on a wrong vehicle and getting shot. causing him the death, his death.
Family in Georgia.
That was crazy. That was so crazy. You know, I still every
Yeah,
time I watch a video, I still think, what an injustice. That they did
yeah,
this.
definitely.
What injustice. This is so sad. Have you heard anything about Ahmaud Arbery? What's going on with him, his case?
Not since everybody got arrested. I mean, they. I know that it took a long time for them to get arrested. I know that the uh, Department of Justice is sending investigators out there to investigate the police department, see why it took so long for people to get arrested. But yeah, I mean that's kind of like a jacked up thing. I mean the guy was clearly chased down, hunted down. Um, I don't care if the perpetrator was retired police. If he was retired police, then he should know that if he has any suspicions about anything, then he should call 911
That is
and not
correct.
take the law into his own hands.
That is correct. It's so sad. I'm gonna show a quick video so people that are just watching for the first time can understand what we're talking about. This is what happened to George Floyd just a couple of days ago. The gentleman was laying on the he was arrested for allegedly having some kind of disturbance in a store. Plus, there's talks about him being using counterfeit money. He was placed in this position with the officer knee his neck, causing his death. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this so you can see. This is when they're trying to, roll him into the ambulance. It's very crazy. This is the attorney who's representing them, and then all this nonsense led to have the America that we know today. This is America. So yeah, the I want to have some participation today from from the people in the chat room so they can enjoy and express themselves through in the fun.
I have something a little funny about protests. I have a lot of friends and family down in South Texas, and somebody posted a video of people protesting in Mercedes, Texas. It was like 5 people with signs, and
Oh wow.
uh, and they joked like, "Good try with the attempt."
So it's
No, it's just if you're ever down in the valley, there's not really you know black people.
you s- you s- you send me a I think you sent me a link today uh in social media. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. It is right here. It's about meanwhile in America. Let's go.
Yeah, just how I'm always talking about this is the end of our societal life cycle. We have all these protests going on, we have all the riots going on, various cities have been on fire,
Yes.
and in addition to that, a brother and a sister is now allowed to get married.
Oh, that's an upgrade.
Kind of like solidifies my point that this is the end of our current societal life cycle now that brothers and sisters are able to get married.
So that this was in the Supreme Court.
um yeah, it looks like it was.
Yeah.
Like that's just crazy. that's that's just crazy.
So they were facing 15 years in jail, and now they're planning to start a new family.
Oh my gosh.
How about their kids? Are their kids gonna be? I don't get it. It's like no, if they're married, they're gonna be mom and dad. But I mean, I was thinking, are they gonna call themselves auntie and I don't know, uncle to the kids? But anyway, my bad.
It'll be like aunt mom and uncle dad.
Uncle, dad. Hey, little Johnny, she's your mom, but she's also your aunt. So
Like that's just disgusting.
yeah,
So
it's very
so
disgusting.
here we are in America. This is America. as we speak. Like we're
It,
donezo.
it is crazy, I was telling people today as well, sharing this on social media, telling them that meanwhile we've been doing this. On June the 2nd, Hillary Clinton went to court and lost her case regarding the missing emails and will be forced to testify in September. So that's a good thing, June the 3rd, Rod Rosenstein testified in front of the Senate regarding Russia. Russia. Google the video because it's worth it, especially when Ted Cruz queries. So that's something good. On the floor, Senate votes to subpoena over 30 Obama officials in the Obama Gate case. And then the question is, do you see anything of this in the news? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, social media don't care about this.
No, they don't. And I didn't see anything in the news per se, but I listened to Rod Rosenstein's hearing on C-SPAN. So I
Yeah,
actually got to hear it uncut without any media's input or bias,
filters, yeah.
which to listen to stuff. And I just thought it was funny that he admitted that, that he didn't read any of the evidence or information that his underlings gave to him, that he just blindly signed the FISA warrants. And he admitted that had he known what he knows now, he would have never signed the FISA warrants. So, boom.
Can you tell me more about the FISA warrant? I am not aware of that.
So the FISA warrant is what the FBI used to peek into Trump's campaign. They picked a guy who also basically worked for the CIA, under the table to to spy on Russians. But the FBI said, "Oh, well, he must be a Russian agent. So we're gonna listen to his phone calls." And by doing that, by listening to that guy's phone calls, they're able to listen to whatever other people in the campaign are saying because they're gonna call this guy, right?
Yeah.
And they've got approval to listen to the phone calls and other surveillance that they did.
Wow. This is something, this is something. Hey, Linda's saying that she want us to know that we kept her up late, very, very late last night. And she enjoyed every freaking minute of it. So thank you, Linda. I love you, Lisa. You know what you're talking about. Lisa's a very smart woman, That's why we have her in the on the show, because she's very, very smart, you know.
Thank you, Linda. I was late. I'm on the East Coast as well, and I'm definitely feeling it right now. A little tired, but I'm still here because I love all of you guys.
Wow. So, my question to you, to people on the chat room and people on listening to this or watching us, it's how your social media has changed since this whole situation started. Do you being more attacked by your friends? It's been different. It's Are you receiving any kind of ultimatums from your friends based on your views of this? Because let me tell you something. In my Facebook, I'm a very conservative guy, and I try to follow things that will help me out, do better in my life, as an individual or as a parent, as an employer, as an employee, things that will make me feel better. But for the last couple of weeks, it's like some of my friends are being like, if you don't kneel with me right now, and you how can I say this, if you don't not protest all lives matter, but if you don't kneel with me and say only Black Lives Matters, you are a bigot. And I'm like, what the heck is this? So it's kind of dumb that somebody message me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and tells me, you support all lives matter, so you don't support black Black Lives Matter. Oh, if you say that all lives matters, white lives matters, Hispanic lives matters, Black lives matters, and you don't, if you don't like people saying Black lives matters, they pretty much telling you the only difference between all of them is that the word black. And I'm like, no, that's not the case. It's not because I'm against black individuals, because I'm not. It's just I don't think that we just should say only Black Lives Matters. Either we're together on this or we're not.
Right. I agree with that. I don't talk about politics on my social media. Um, I'm just, believe it or not, guys, I'm actually a little antisocial, and it's very difficult for me to make friends. I'm kind of a nerd and a geek. So the little friends that I have on my social media, I feel a need to keep them around. I don't know my social media light. It's like just music and boobs. They just music and boobs. They probably think I'm a dumb bimbo, and I'm okay with that. I know that I'm not, so I don't care what they think as far as for that part, but I don't want to get into arguments every day on my social media. I have a lot of my family on my social media. I just don't want to argue on my social media.
Oh, Jacqueline.
What's
So
going on, everybody?
let me show you something real
I'm
quick.
gonna wait for some people to come on. Facebook takes a while to send out those notifications. I'm gonna wait for a few more seconds. Floyd was wrongfully killed. Just be honest here, okay? And let's address an issue.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for a few more seconds before I get started.
So this right here is Terrence K. Williams. He's a Trump supporter, 100%. Okay, so it's gonna be epic.
Wait for a few more seconds. I want to give everybody a chance to come on in because I want to address an issue. Okay. Let me just be honest here, okay? And let me clear up some things. I'm not trying to take away from the fact that George Floyd was wrongfully killed, okay? I'm pissed off at Black Lives Matter because they don't care about nobody else's life right now. This is the thing here, okay? A police officer at the age of, a retired cop at the age of 77, David Dorn, was gunned down, shot and killed, left for dead on a sidewalk. I didn't hear anything from Black Lives Matter. Anything.
Okay, so David Dorn, that's a big dono, for Black Lives Matters. They refuse to give them some coverage to this. Maybe because he was on the opposite side of the rioting and looting. Not sure, but he's right. I haven't seen anything on social media other than conservative people trying to share and express, how they feel about the situation.
Yeah, they should change their name from Black Lives Matter to Certain Lives Matter.
Yeah,
Or it depends.
it depends. Based, I know, based on based on who kills you. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
They're not into like the urban areas where there's high black on black crime. They're not in there concerned about their lives, and they weren't concerned about Mr. Dorn's life. So it's just they're it depends. It depends. Matt.
So sad. That is so sad.
Yeah.
The one thing I gotta say is that they went from Ahmaud Arbery to George Floyd in a blink of an eye. And I mean, the whole campaign. If you look at your social media, the feeds that you're getting, because all these news that you get are paid ads by Black Lives Matters. They drop him like it was no tomorrow. Like, oh, that's it. Let's go into this. And then now that they understand, I saw looters running into our Wells Fargo. Then I'm thinking they know there's a safe in the bank. And they will never get to it unless they have a tank. uh, just people being evil, you know.
Everybody's life, about every black life. I want to know, why don't they have anything to say about the life of David Dorn? David Dorn's life mattered too. A 77-year-old black man spent 40 years protecting and serving his community. 40 years protecting people. And what did he get in return? What did he get in return? Left dead on a sidewalk, laying in cold blood.
You know, that's the video that we posted the other day, man. I mean, it's just cruel, you know. It's very difficult
Yeah.
to go back to it.
Hands of another black person. Shame on you, shame on you. How could you not say something about somebody's grandfather being gunned down over a damn television? You have nothing to say? Nothing at all? These people don't care about George Floyd.
Mm-mm.
That's a fact, you know. It's a money machine, you know. They don't care. They don't care.
They advocate for the looting. So of course they're not going to say anything about Mr. Dorn's life because he was trying to prevent the looting, and they're trying to advocate for the looting.
Wow. Have you seen the looting going down?
Luckily, where I am, I'm in southeastern Virginia. Southeastern Virginia / northeastern North Carolina. And even though there's been protests, there was a little bit of burning down at the ocean front, but for the most part, I mean, we're probably like scared. We scared. We ain't doing all that.
It's crazy. It's very crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, we're not doing all that.
it's very crazy. There's news. There's news about George Floyd and then the Kansas City quarterback. I think Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes.
Is that the guy who died too?
What?
There was some football player guy that died as well.
No way.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't him. No, it wasn't. So
Oh, okay.
we definitely need to think Mahomes calls for change. I made protests after George Floyd. You know, he just is. You know, this guy, Patrick Mahomes, is just calling for change. You know, like every superstar, every movie artist. You know, I mean that's the one thing, you know, that I seen on the conservative side, that when we have issues in the past, we were telling LeBron James, hey, just, I think that was Laura Ingram, shut up your mouth and just dribble your ball, you know, dribble the ball, you know, play basketball. But now, since the Saints quarterback spoke, she went on live television and she was like, hey, we need to listen to these guys, you know. Do you see that this is a little bit of a bias?
Yeah. So I'll acknowledge bias, period. It doesn't matter if it's on the right or on the left. And yeah, that is pretty biased. Just because, the football player that I was agreeing with her, and LeBron James was not, you can't be like that. Like, if you don't want any athlete to express their opinion on political or current views, then you need to feel that way across the board.
I get it, you know, that makes sense, you know, a lot of sense, by the way. um wow, that makes sense. The one thing that I will say to you is that, you know, from the beginning, I always say, hey, we need to listen to these guys, you know, because they have a following, you know, and their opinion really matters, you know, whatever they say, if it's positive or negative or whatever the case may be, we need to listen to those guys, because if we don't do, conservative people, their followers, you know, they're going to listen to it, and then we won't be able to, like, you know, articulate ourselves in a better way when we're trying to, you know, tell somebody, and maybe what he say wasn't, you know, 100% correct. Maybe you need to, you know, check this or check that to make sure that you are, that you're getting the whole truth, not just a part of the truth. Let me get back to the video.
That 17-year-old boy's life don't matter because he died by the hands of a black person? No, you're wrong. His life matters too.
Who are you talking about?
At all. Nothing to say. So you mean to tell me if a black person murders a young 17-year-old boy, that 17-year-old boy's life don't matter because he died by the hands of a black person? No, you're wrong. His life matters too. These people are selective when it comes to whose life matters.
That's goes back to our point, yeah, being selective. That's a good use of words, just what they care, what if they can monetize the struggle, that's what they're gonna use. Crazy.
David Dorn, then you are a hypocrite and you don't care about every black life. You don't. And this is why people can't take Black Lives Matter serious. We can't take them seriously because they are a bunch of hypocrites. Everybody's life matter at the end of the day.
Amen to that. Amen to that, Mr. Williams.
Trust Black Lives Matter anyway. And no offense to any white person out there, I don't have any problem with white people. A lot of family members are kind of white. I've dated plenty of white dudes in my life. Let me tell you. So I have no problem with white people, but to me, it bugs me that an organization called Black Lives Matter is ran by a lot of white people. To me, that is weird and seems kind of calculating. I just don't trust. I can't trust stuff like that. It doesn't make sense to me. It's now. I'm not saying that white people can't support what
to be willing
to black people. Of course we can, but like to like run it and be in charge, to me that's just a little weird and makes me a little suspicious, especially since their MO is that Black lives only matter sometimes.
So right here, what?
Okay.
It is, yeah. Right here I have the Sergeant Major of the Army. Okay, this guy is Sergeant Major Greenstone. He replaced Kenneth Preston. Let's listen to what he got to say.
in our Army, we have to trust and understand one another. We have to be willing to tell our stories. Here's part of my story. I was born in 1968. My father was black. My mother was white. When I was 3, they divorced and I moved to Alabama. Racial identity is something that I struggle with my entire life. Coming to grips with both sides of my identity, at one point I decided I would put black on the form. And at that time, I only had 2 choices. So I handed the form that I was given to the lady, and she said, "That's not funny." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "You shouldn't mark that." I said, "Well," I explained to her I was black and white, and I didn't have too many choices for anything else on that form. Sometimes in my life, I felt like it's in the movie, The Green Book, where the actor gets out of the car and he says, "I'm not black enough for the black people. I'm not white enough for the white people." That's my story.
We have many people in this predicament. At least I believe you are one of them.
I'm one of them. I'm black.
I don't. You don't. Well, if people are watching your pictures, and most people think that you're Hispanic. So
True. So just in case anybody wants to know, Escobedo is a married name, as I've been married like 50,000 times. This happens to be the last one. And well, the last time I got married, I'm always looking to get married again. But anyway, but I am black. Both my parents are black. But yes, obviously I am of a fair skin color, so there are white people in my family. My grandfather is technically my grandfather's mulatto.
Okay.
So his parents half black, half white, both of them, the mom and the dad. So mulatto plus mulatto equals mulatto. So my grandfather was mulatto, but by the time it gets down to me, it's so saturated. I'm black.
Wow. Wow. So I don't know if you guys remember, but 76 years ago, on June 6th, something amazing happened.
There was a ground fog, and we were supposed to be flying at about 600 feet. And that was going to be our jump altitude. We couldn't see any landmarks. We couldn't see where we were going, or anything. But the order was before we left that no one would come back in the aircraft, whether we found our objective, whether we found our DZs or not. That we would go out somewhere over Normandy. Just as soon as it bailed out, and I knew that was the end of it. I was not coming back anymore, because I had never seen so many tracers in my life. Tracers all over the place that were shooting at us. I hardly got the thoughts out of my mind when I went through an apple tree. My feet just barely touched the ground. The top of my canopy had caught my fall, and I just hung there real nice, no problem. Took my knife, cut myself out of my harness, and immediately started to gather the people together that jumped from our aircraft.
I wanted to share that video, because we are so we don't forget. I know some people even cancel their celebration for D-Day, and I just wanted to show that today we celebrate D-Day. That was the same day. So go ahead.
That was beautiful. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, we forget sometimes, that like you mentioned, like Linda's mentioning as well. She talks about people in Chicago last week. 88 shootings, 24 deaths within 24 hours, and we're talking about different people. And then we sometimes, more often than that we shouldn't, we forget about other things that are going around. So yeah, so many people.
That clip that you played of that guy in the military that was talking about his struggle with identity.
Yes.
Because he was biracial.
Yes.
That got me thinking about that Sean King guy who is in Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Because he is biracial, but I believe he was raised by his white mother.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering if he is like playing God with this to like somehow subconsciously get back at his black father.
Wow. That
So real deep with it, like a psychopath.
That could be true, That could be true.
Because he causes a lot of unnecessary chaos in the community, and you can't say that you're for Black lives when you're not. You're only for Black lives sometimes. His main goal is to cause chaos and to profit from it.
Oh yeah. That's a big worry,
Just don't ruin the country.
We have
identity issues. Go see a therapist.
I think that's that's a good yes. If you have daddy issues, go see a therapist. Don't try to divide the country.
Right.
Let's go to this guy right here.
No one, and I do mean no one has come out and said, yep, Derek Chauvin was perfectly justified and should have killed George Floyd. No one has said that. Everyone that's getting upset and pretending like that one issue is why everyone's upset is smoking something, because everyone agreed that issue was wrong. So let's talk about Black Lives Matter.
Oh shit.
This is the time for black voices to be heard, and the only way our voices can be heard is if we riot. Maybe you've been told this is not the time to bring up black on black crime statistics, or this is not the time to talk about the odds of a black person getting killed by the police. So if your concern is for black lives, then your concern will be for the issue that is killing the most black people. And statistically speaking, the issue that is killing the most black people is black people. 94% of black people that are killed by black people.
Again, we're heading back to this the same same topic. We're getting back at the statistics. Do statistics matters right now?
I mean, nobody's going to care about it.
Okay.
The propaganda machine has won, and only people care about is white cops that unfortunately has killed some black people every now and then, every once in a while, every blue moon.
You say, but wait. Let's talk about police brutality. Okay, we can talk about police brutality and the fact that 91% of people shot and killed by the police, regardless of their skin color, are, guess what? Armed. So if we are going to call this an issue, we cannot say someone shooting at the police getting killed is just as bad as someone who's unarmed getting shot by the police. That's not the same thing. And I go, oh, well, look at this video, this mass shooter, he was white, and the police walked him out. It's all about their encounter with the police.
So that makes a lot of sense. We don't see many fatalities on television of police officers killing these mass shooters. Most of the times either they kill themselves or they're being held for questioning. And my point here is that when this happens, when there's a mass shooting, those officers are getting deployed to the area of operations, to the AO or to the danger zone. As they go in, they have radios. They're receiving their engagement rules, and the engagement rules that they're getting, is telling them that we need to capture this guy alive, so because we need to interrogate him. We cannot take his life in our hands. You cannot take his life on your hands, and you can try as much as you can for him not to kill himself. So we can have answers for those families of the deceased people, and so justice can serve its duty. What do you think, Isa?
Yeah, I co-sign that.
Let me see what we got going on.
Experience police brutality. Rioting is not doing anything, because then you're putting yourself in direct contact with police that are already aggravated, already overworked, already understaffed, and now you're forcing them to respond by throwing Molotov cocktails and bricks and smashing police cars and setting things on fire. You're like, police brutality is a really big issue. Hang on while I jump in the street and forcibly put myself in a position to be brutalized.
So that Molotov bomb, we have in the news, we have earlier today a judge from Washington being bail bonded out by an assistant or somebody who works in the Obama staff, and they claim to be like buddies, but it was I think it was $25,000. The thing that comes to mind here is that she works right now for the George Soros Foundation, as a legal advisor, whatever. So I mean, whose pockets this money is coming from? Because $25,000 for somebody who lives in Washington D.C., unless you're rich, stupid rich, it's a lot of money.
Absolutely, and I can't stand anything related to George Soros, and I hate that America has been brainwashed and bamboozled by him. Even though he has American citizenship, he is a foreigner. He never, I guess, renounced his homeland. I think it's Hungary citizenship. So he has dual citizenship, but he's a foreigner. He does this all over the globe as far as for meddling in elections and things like that. He's so bad with it that he's banned from Poland. He can't go to Poland. He is forbidden to go to Poland because he wreaked so much havoc there. And I wish that we could take away we can, because he's a foreigner, so we can take away his citizenship, but I wish somebody would and kick him out.
That makes sense. I have something here from a good friend of ours that you've probably seen on television a couple of times and on social media. So let's go with this.
Friend, this that we're all witnessing right now, riots in streets in cities all across the country, has nothing whatsoever to do with George Floyd.
Today, we found poor boy Bala, who invested his life savings into opening this sports bar, cleaning up. While our camera was there, looters came back to try to steal his safe.
Trying to steal the safe.
I don't know what we're gonna do. So hard to get. So hard.
And to all you out there that may be jumping on the bandwagon that are going along with these rioters that are being sent from out of state, to your hometown, that are creating chaos, destroying businesses like that man that we just saw crying, who poured his life savings into opening up a bar just to have vandals, criminals, destroy it. To all you out there that are jumping on the bandwagon, know that you're being played.
So, he's gonna come back probably to talk about George Soros. Do you see where this conversation is going?
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's
Yeah.
our centuries. Well, not our century. Our, I guess, half centuries. Joseph Goebbels.
Mm. Yeah.
Most of the people that are in these cities that I believe have been sent to cities to create chaos, they're going to leave once they're gone. They don't even care about you or your community.
In St. Paul last night, and across our Twin Cities, the curfew went into effect. Because we had a relative stillness in St. Paul, we didn't make an enormous number of arrests, but every single person we arrested last night, I'm told, was from out of state.
So all those people get to your hometown and start creating a bunch of havoc. Why is there all of a sudden a bunch of works that just happen to be there?
That's correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're participating in these riots and you're not getting paid, you're getting played. And you are pissing off real Americans that care about this country, that care about our businesses, that care about our community, that want to be able to go back to work. You know how many people's jobs you're taking from them all over supposedly being upset that George was murdered? Yeah, upset too. That's a whole other case entirely. And guess what? The cop, well, he's got charged with murder, so hopefully he winds up in jail, and hopefully there's some friends there that you know the rest. Fill in the blanks. But understand, while you can be upset, for you to create the kind of man that you're creating and not getting paid means you're a puppet. You're an absolute puppet, because there is a deep state attempted coup against this president going on, and you're falling right into the hands of it. How do I say that? Why do I say that? Well, let's take a look.
Just better.
They put them there on purpose.
Y'all know where we at.
They gonna set them on right up on the rail.
Y'all know what building this is right here. I ain't even gonna say what name it is.
Where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks
set up?
Where do them bricks?
We gotta do better.
Ain't no damn
We gotta do better.
Ain't no damn construction around here. Ain't no damn construction around here. You just gonna set a pile of bricks right there. Okay.
Listen.
Then you're falling right into the hands of it. How do I say that? Why do I say that? Well, let's take a look.
Just better.
They put them there on purpose.
Y'all know where we at.
They gonna set them on right up on the rail.
Y'all know what building this is right here. I ain't even gonna say what name it is.
Where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks
set up?
Where do them bricks?
We gotta do better.
Ain't no damn
We gotta do better.
Ain't no damn construction around here. Ain't no damn construction around here. You just gonna.
So this is very organized. Yeah. I mean,
You want to know what's
tell me.
the government has to be complicit, because as the city like Minneapolis, there's like cameras everywhere, every block. It's like New York City.
Right.
Everywhere there's a camera. So, the local government will be able to see who drops the bricks and who dropped the kerosene on the corners. But is anybody getting arrested? Is it being reported in the news? No, because they're not caring. They're complicit in it. They want all of this. They want all of this to be happening.
I'm a little bit
Elected one way or another. That's what it is.
I'm a little concerned because it's not easy to fight somebody or some organization with that much money. I mean, and I know President Trump is doing as much as he can, but I think these elections are going to be tough for him to win. Very tough.
I mean, sadly, I just don't think that he's going to win. I think that they did too much, and it's unfortunate. And the tools that they use. I mean, the opposition is extremely savvy.
They are very smart.
Yeah.
So cities across the United States are facing this situation, protests, looters, and killings of all across the nation. What can we tell people watching this podcast or listening to the podcast or watching this video right now, to give them hope?
Oh, well, I'm the wrong person to respond to that question.
I will tell you, for people that are watching, this is my take, okay? This is my take. I think that you need to vote. That's what I can tell them. You need to vote. If you don't want to continue seeing this, you need to vote, okay? And then I'm not saying that you need to vote for the Democrat or for a Republican. I'm asking you need to vote for whoever you feel that's going to put an end to this right here. Not just a fix, I'm not telling you, hey, let's vote for Obama, make him president, because everything's going to stop. No, I'm saying, look at the track record of both President Trump and Vice President Biden, and then think about who can help us out in the middle of this situation. Like I seen right now, this right here, I thought it was going to last 5-6 weeks. I don't think this is going to last a couple of weeks more, because people are tired, they're tired. They, the looters that went at the beginning and they were able to go to those Best Buys and get their TVs. They already got their TVs. They're back in the houses. The people that went to the banks trying to break into a safe, which is ridiculous. That's the one place that's the one place that you don't go if you're looting.
I mean, first of all, you can't take it with you, and secondly, it's not TV. You can't just crack a safe.
Yeah, you cannot just hammer down a safe. It's just ridiculous. So I haven't seen no post on anywhere online talking about how this bank lost $7 million. Because that's approximately the amount of money they carry, between $5 and $7 million. Most big banks, smaller banks, they don't even carry 1 million. In any given day. So it's one of those things. So when November comes, make sure that you go exercise your vote. Please exercise your right, the right of voting, okay? And I know who I'm going to be voting for. Have you made your mind already, Lisa?
So I normally do not make my decision until I'm actually in the voting booth, because I'm the kind of person that likes to stay open. Anything could happen even while I'm waiting in line. But this is an election with someone who has an agenda that works 1,000% against Black people and Donald Trump. So obviously, I'm not going to vote for the racist Joe Biden. I'm not going to work against myself. And again, I'm not someone who supports politicians. I never register with a party. I'm always undecided when I register. I never vote in the primaries because I'm not doing any of that. I really want to be objective all the time. But in this case, it's an obvious choice because I'm not going to vote for someone who's against me. So I'm not voting for the racist Joe Biden.
Well, you're not black enough, so that's what I said. So if you ain't voting for him, you're black enough. So I have a picture here.
Right.
Yeah, I have a picture here of a Marine. A Marine. This guy is a Marine, the real deal. And he posted some pictures of himself with in uniform with the tape over his mouth saying "I can breathe." I'm gonna go to the pictures right here so you guys can see it. There we go. And I think he just went probably to basic training. Thank you so much, Linda. You're amazing. Front of the White House in Utah, or the state capitol. Just taking a knee. Wow. Purple Heart. So this guy has a Purple Heart. So he went to Afghanistan and he got shot over there. He got an MSM too. So he got some awards. Hopefully all these are legit. Let me read a little bit about this guy. So this guy was decorated with 2 Marine Purple Hearts. There we go, Linda.
Smash and share, promote independent media.
Thank you, Linda. This guy has 2 Purple Hearts. This is crazy. And he only identified as stud, So he don't went over there for the for the clout, trying to get famous. So it's a bunch of people talking crap about him in Facebook, but hey, more power to you if you feel that way, More power to you. Well, how you feel about these service members who go out and then do their protests while in uniform? You there, Lisa? I think Lisa just dropped off the phone call here.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
The mute.
No worries. No worries.
No, I don't agree with it at all. I mean, he can have his personal opinion and he can protest until he's blue in the face, but don't do it wearing the uniform, because when you're wearing the uniform, you're not representing you or your views. You're representing the United States and whoever is your boss at that time, which is Donald Trump. So until Donald Trump slaps a piece of tape over his mouth that says "I can't breathe," then you do not slap a piece of tape across your mouth that says "I can't breathe."
That is correct. He's clearly outside of military uniform. He's not supposed to be wearing that right there, but he's making a big point. I'm sure that he's probably already out of service. But there's no much, so we can find his details on him. So, wow, this is beautiful. I think that the people show up to this protest in good faith, and they did something pretty good.
Surprising at this point, really.
Let me post this right here real quick. I think people are
getting emotional with the
people are getting what they want. I think that they are showing for George Floyd, and then they're getting the attention they want. I think that the family of George Floyd will be well taken care of, for the rest of their lives. I know that, yeah, there's many people that, that promise to pay for their college, for his daughter, for his mom. They pay for this funeral, by the way. It says George, it says the moneymaker all over the place. This guy has a golden casket, golden. Just think about it. If you ask the guy the day before he got killed, hey, when you die, you're gonna have a golden casket, you know, and uh, Mayweather gonna pay for it. He will tell you, man, shut up. He'll be like, you don't know what you're talking about. If you tell him, hey, you're gonna be, you're gonna be a martyr for the black community in America, all across the world, you don't know what you're talking about. But I mean, it's amazing the amount of people that are showing their respect. Either or. Coup, no coup, whatever the case may be. I think the Black America is together on this. Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I was actually just talking to my son last night about my wishes. I told him I wanted to be cremated so that he'll be forced to take me with him wherever he goes, and I want my urn to be black and hot pink.
Wow. I haven't done that yet. I haven't think about that. I haven't get my last wishes together. So now I'm thinking about that. What do I want? What I want to do?
University. Paul Bloom is outside.
Let's listen a little bit for this. I mean, there's ushers around. You know what I mean? This is they got a mural with this picture. They got ushers sitting people down. I mean, and then let me tell you something. There's gonna be a bunch of movies made about this. A bunch of movies. I was talking to one of my colleagues here, and another colleague on YouTube, and he was telling me, did you see these clips? And he sent me some clips, and then we can see people running around with a specific type of camera. One second, I'll get back at you in a minute, okay? So, can you please hold? So one of the things that he was saying is that we seen a bunch of people, running with a specific camera, and then when we talk about it, he was like, those are the cameras that they're used to make Netflix movies. And the reason why there's people running around with these type of cameras, in the middle of the protest is because they're capturing video, stock footage, so they can do their movies. So I think I have Linda on the phone right now. Is that correct, Linda? Are you there?
How are we doing tonight?
We're doing great, Linda. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Linda. How's it going?
Thank you for having me again. How you doing, Lisa? I love the fact that you want hot pink and black as a urn.
I want to keep it real emo. Keep it real emo.
Damn.
Yeah, look, I don't want to be in a box in any way, shape, or form. I'm afraid of the cold. I don't like bugs, and I'm petrified of fire. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with me.
I'm gonna tell you.
I don't know. I guess once I'm gone, I'm gone.
Hopefully something nice, Hopefully something.
What was
nice.
that?
No, I'm saying if
but
they can mummify you.
Today was a really sad day, all the way around. It was a sad day. Not only was I stuck watching everything that happened, the propaganda that's going on, because what I'm going to say right now, I don't know if it's going to sit well with many people right now. It seems to me like they are making this guy who is a career criminal a martyr for this country and its cause. And, I Can't Breathe movement, Black Lives Matter, having street names changed. I don't know. It's sad because I don't believe what this officer did, no matter what this man did, no matter what he did, what kind of criminal he ever was. He did not deserve the way that he passed away. And that cop was 110% wrong. So let me get that point across first. This man previously was out of jail, spent 5 years for putting a gun walked up to some pretended to be a guy that worked for the water company or something, with a clipboard to a woman that was pregnant. She realized he really didn't work for the water department. And then four other guys or three other guys came out and ransacked her room, her house. And he, Mr. Floyd, put a gun to her pregnant belly as she was made to sit there. I cannot remember this lady's name, but I remember it was Ranquez. It was a Spanish last name. Ranquez. Oh, God. But that's the name that we should be chanting right now. This woman is sitting at home watching this man that did this to her, and he is being made a martyr. I can't even imagine what this lady is feeling like. So if everybody wants to talk about, the women's right and where's women and Me Too movement, where are they at? So the whole country is falling apart. You understand? Their whole message is falling apart. If the mainstream media were to sit there and tell you the truth and not a story, because they tell you a story and not the story, and that's a very serious statement. They tell you a story and not the story. It's their narrative. If everybody that was doing all this, praise him, was going to sit there and go back to his record and see what kind of man this person really, truly was. He was a history criminal. He was a very bad man. His family says he was changing. Yeah, he was changing. Maybe he was trying to change. But he was found with fentanyl and methamphetamine in his blood system. So please, somebody tell me, how is that changed? How is that changing? Now, if he didn't have anything in his system, it would be a different story. It took 4 cops to bring him down. He was a big man. So obviously he resisted arrest. They obviously knew about him because he was a career criminal. So, the more we find out, when I get off the phone, because I can't do that at the same time.
No worries. Yeah, no worries. Take your time. The Linda, you make an amazing point. Rather, and this guy is a liar. He is a liar.
I'll tell you right now, that little monologue because Tommy breaks it down, he stops it, and he starts making jokes. He's a comedian, and he busts balls and everything. He's funny as hell. But if you just put that compilation together, I tried to find the actual compilation from Jimmy's show, but I couldn't find it at all. And oh my God, I was like, this right here is the best personal ad you could possibly have for Trump, and will win him the election hands down if Biden is the guy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. None. Zero.
What's the name
That's how strong this video.
What's the name of that guy that makes the video again?
Tommy Sotomayor, Sotomayor.
Okay, like the judge. Okay, got it. Yeah, we got it. I think I'm gonna let you post the link. I cannot find him.
Yeah, he's they probably try to hide him too. Probably 12 pages down.
Oh, that's so sad. That is so sad. But you know what?
Yeah, and he's got a lot of followers. A lot. If you don't, I can't believe you don't even know who he is.
I think I've seen him before.
You know who he is, Lisa?
No, I've never heard of him.
Oh my God, he's one of the biggest controversial guys on YouTube. He does some real busting balls on everybody.
Okay.
for me, other than RT365, my YouTubing consists of timeline documentaries, History Channel documentaries, Iran South Korean news channel, and BBC News.
Yeah. I think
YouTuber.
So are you like still learning, like, because you're watching all the documentaries? Like, I still watch documentaries. You can never stop learning. You can never ever ever stop learning. And I do still watch documentaries, but when I have to teach myself about certain subjects, I will go into like doing a whole lot of research just with paperwork and court papers and files. I want to know the facts. I don't want to know what you're telling me, So if I find a good documentary and it's out there and I find it really true, then I will promote it. But other than that, it can sit there on the shelf.
Yeah, documentaries is pretty much what I mostly watch. If I'm not watching the news, I'm watching some sort of documentary of normally it's a historical documentary. I'm a very boring person, Linda. I'm a very boring person.
Me too. Me too. You know what I do? Fun. Literally, this is what I do for fun. I watch the Housewives in New York City. All the housewives. That's because I have to live life vicariously through them, even though they're total bitches, total assholes, and I don't like a one of them. But I have to get a laugh somehow out of life right now because it's too freaking serious. And I literally laugh at these people. Money cannot buy class, no matter what, because I have more class in my pinky toenail that I clip off than they have in all of their shows.
Yeah. I mean, and I like war documentaries. I like real life. I like real life.
Yeah. We would get along so much. We would so get along. Yeah, but Tommy put out a movie last year. It's called A Fatherless America, and I watched the reviews on it, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the movie at all." I effing loved it, and I was like, "Oh my God, really?" And yeah, it's very powerful, and it's so true within our society, and every American needs to see it, and especially every Black family.
Hey, Lisa.
Every Black woman and man definitely needs to see this.
Awesome, Lisa. Let me see if you can hear this guy right here. Maybe this is the guy you're talking about.
It's the only time he didn't. What I should have said was.
Yep, that's him.
That's him. Oh, you see just by the voice. That's good.
Yep, that's him. Yeah, that's Tommy.
I got you.
Yes, I do.
Shit from people, and then
I know
attribute it to your own life.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me your own life at the time? Because in 1988, I think Joe Biden was about like 79. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think in 1988, Joe Biden was about like 83. Is it something? But at that point, your life had already been lived. So all of your experience should have been your experience. Why you stealing another nigga shit? Make up one.
Oh, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna
CBS
laugh.
News,
Trust
the
me.
tape of a second instance.
It reappeared in the New York Times with a new charge that Biden had appropriated a famous litany from the late Robert Kennedy about what the gross national product cannot measure.
It cannot measure the health of our children.
The health of our children.
The quality of our education.
The quality of their education.
The joy of their play.
For the joy of their play.
This nigga straight jacking people. He is straight jacking people. He didn't even change the words.
It's the only time I didn't. And all the times I've ever used it.
But CBS News found a tape of a second instance.
Oh,
It
Jesus.
reappeared in the New York Times with a new charge that Biden had appropriated a famous litany from the late Robert Kennedy about what the gross national product cannot measure.
It cannot measure the health of our children.
The health of our children.
The quality of our
That's a proof. You gotta go to the other video.
The joy of their.
I gotta find it. Linda. I gotta find it. He's.
Yeah.
Hey, so
The only way I can do it right now. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see. If we get disconnected, I will definitely call you back.
no
Okay.
worries. Thank you, Linda.
Or I can hang up. I don't need to stay on the phone.
Yeah, okay.
I'm probably boring everybody
You
anyway.
good. So yeah,
So I think I can do it.
thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
So much shit happening across the country, man. This is nonsense, man. Uh, you know, times like today, I think some parts of Australia cancel the D-Day ceremonies, that they were scheduled for today as well. There's so many things going across the country, Lisa. I really don't know what to tell you. Today, I live in Tucson, Arizona. I went out with my daughter, my wife. We were going to get some glasses for my daughter, and then he closes at 5, and I'm looking at her like, "Why are you closing at 5? We got masks. What's going on?" And then it's like the governor of the mayor of Tucson. They have a curfew, and I was like, "This is the first time that I go out after the whole coronavirus. I just wanted to purchase some things, and they're like, "Yeah, nope, we're gonna close at 5." So I was like, "Oh Jesus." How about how curfews affecting your area, Lisa?
Well, I think only one town has a curfew, and that's Hampton, and that's because they have Hampton University out there, which is, an HBCU. So everywhere else is very mixed and diverse. The government is only shutting down where the Black people are.
I got you. Yeah, that's okay.
I just dropped the link.
Got it. Thank you, Lynn.
Being phased out. We're not being controlled by the government. Hey, nobody else has a curfew. Just only where the Black people are.
For some reason,
I don't find that offensive.
the link does not work. Let me see if I can just copy the link real quick, and then I can share it so people can see what we're talking about. Okay, there we go. Okay, got it.
But CBS News found
I'm warning you that there's harsh language.
Oh yeah, that is a video. That is a video.
The world. If you Black people vote for him, you need your ass whooped. If you white people vote for him, you need your ass whooped. For real. This man in the 80s has shown who he was. That all he is whatever you say you want him to be. This man is really tofu for real. What do you want him to taste like? Whatever the fuck you put on top of it.
That's right. That's right.
Consistency you want, what you looking for. This motherfucker's undercut his pizza personified. Let's say you want pepperoni, I got pepperoni. He don't have his own pizza shop. He just show up wherever the pizza delivery guy go.
Shit.
He just go and follow him.
We're going to have to decide whether he was dishonest or dumb. Senator Joseph Biden may have more explaining to do. The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his Wall Street class.
He's a pathological liar. This is the guy you're going to have go up against Trump because Trump is a pathological liar. Do you understand how empty and hollow the Democrats?
This guy's a savage, This is I'm gonna take a look at this his channel, later on today, after our show finish, he is epic, Lena, were you able to tell me?
Something to say about that last comment about Trump being a pathological liar. So I'm a Southerner, and it's kind of like the Southern thing to do to exaggerate when you're telling a story. or talking about anything. It's just exaggeration is just a part of our vernacular. And I'm not saying that Trump is 100% honest, but I feel like he exaggerates more than flat out lie. Whereas Biden
Exactly.
definitely lies.
Agreed. 100%. Where is the mic drop for that?
Yeah, it's like a difference between an exaggeration and just a flat out lie. Like he said he got arrested trying to see what's his name in South Africa. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm going to tip of my tongue too.
but he never got arrested. So it's not an exaggeration, like that's a flat out lie. But when Trump says, "Oh yeah, unemployment numbers, they're bigly low, they're extremely low, they're and it could be a time where they're not that low, there hasn't been that much change." Like that's an exaggeration, not necessarily a lie.
How about graduating at the top of his class? You'll find that out in the video. But I've known about that, But it was just like, there's so much.
He was a cheerleader in the top of the pyramid. That's what he meant.
Exactly. Like there are so many things that happened over the years that I've known about and that people didn't see, and when I say it to them, they don't realize. But to see it and in a compilation and the news actually reporting on it is just, in your face. There you go, MFer. There you go. Here. But they still don't want to say the truth. You can show it to them and they're still in denial. And that's the part.
We built this store.
The only question I got is, what are we gonna do? How can we? Yeah, that was really bad, man. That was really bad.
Oh my God, that video was
That video broke my head. My heart. It was just terrible yesterday. Watching that, I was like,
yeah,
that broke my heart. That broke my heart.
And you don't see Black Lives Matter talking about this. It's that's the worst part.
No, like I said in the chat about last week, 88 people got shot.
Yeah.
88 people got shot last week. 24 died within 24 hours. And that wasn't due to rioting. You know what I'm saying? That was activity that happened every single week and on the weekends, especially in that town. And you have cops there. Can you imagine how it would be if you didn't have cops there and they're talking about dismantling police officers?
Oh yeah, I saw that today.
I don't even know what. See, it's an oxymoron because they're sitting there saying they want to demolish the police station and they want armed people trained with guns to surveil their own neighborhoods. So are you taking away our Second Amendment or are you giving yourself the Second Amendment? Because you can have guns, but we can't. You want to patrol your neighborhood with guns, but we can't have our guns?
Yeah, that is
no. So it's an oxymoron. You want the neighbors that don't, you're in a democratic city. You're not getting guns. The only guns that are out there are legal guns.
Yeah, I mean, only the criminals.
Think for a second that these criminals are going to obey the law. Look at what they're doing now.
Yeah, only the criminals
what
got
they're
those.
doing now.
Yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy, The more I look around, the more I see these things happening, in the country, the worse it gets. I mean, it just, I have no words for this, I have no words.
It all it does is leave you with anger.
That's correct, yeah.
I'm frustrated. I don't know how to deal with my anger. I don't know what to do. And I don't have a direction or I don't have faith in somebody to help me with what to do. I don't have faith because I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult, It's like, I can't put a MAGA hat in my neighborhood. Oh hell no! The vote, sign from 2016. I have a Trump sign. I can't put it up in my room.
Yeah, just for protection. Yeah, right now.
I was very, very, very good friends with this Spanish guy. And he'd come over all the time because everybody calls me Ma. I cook dinner for everybody in the house and da-da-da. Anyway, long story short, he brought his girlfriend and his stepchild, I guess you want to call it. But it was just a girlfriend. It was her baby. Brought her over to the house to meet me. And she looked on my wall and her eyes popped open and she looked at him like it was eye contact, like, oh my God, she's a Trump supporter. And then he asked me about how do you feel about the wall?
Wow.
And I said, I think they should fucking build it and build it fast. If you want to come into the country, come in the right way. I have nothing at all against anybody that wants to come in the right way. But if you want to climb over my wall and sneak under a tunnel and come in and do damage to my country, hell no.
Well, Linda, you make a lot of
years ago.
You make a lot of sense. I know. I think we support you on your views, and we definitely wanna make sure that you continue doing what you do. For this country. In your neighborhood, in your state. So thank you so much for that, Linda.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Okay. Y'all have a nice night.
Oh, thank you.
Love you all.
We're gonna be here. Just stay tuned. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I spent like 4 hours with you guys last night. I was like, oh my God, you kept me up so late.
we appreciate you for that.
But it's all good.
Thank you. Bye. So let's take a look at this video right here.
Why would you bring a child to a riot? No, seriously. Why would you bring a little girl to a riot? Why would you bring your little princess, your little...
Do you think this is something that happens, all the time? People are
They were trying to get seen, trying to make things more dramatic, use the child as a pawn. Because as a parent, there is no way in the world I would bring my child to a war zone. No way.
That is correct. It's like it's like deploying and taking your daughter with you to Afghanistan or Kuwait. Crazy. So
no way.
Little angel
it has to be
to a deadly riot.
Yeah.
You can get your daughter killed. And as a father, you should be ashamed. Because as a father, the first thing you should be doing is protecting your daughter. And protecting your daughter is not bringing her to a riot. You are supposed to be her protector, not put her in danger, you dummy.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world is wrong with you people? If you want to be stupid alone. Leave your children at home. Don't bring your child to a riot and put that little innocent angel in danger.
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. I don't know what some parents think about. That's correct.
CPS, but this is a moment for them. They need to go and get that kid.
Hey, for what?
Yeah.
Entertain. For what? That's what I'm trying to detain. For what? That's what I'm trying to get the understanding of. You had an attitude when I looked in your eyes. Window rolled down. You said, and you turn your lights on. And you turn your lights on to pull him over. And I followed you slowly. Followed you. Behind your back. I'm not getting arrested. You are getting arrested. You're getting your hands behind your back. Get your hands behind your back. Why am I getting arrested? Why am I being arrested? You're being arrested. See, and now you're getting resisting arrest. How? When you didn't tell me that. Tell me what you told me. Give me.
Ram, please. Ram, please.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Get on the ground.
Do that.
Get on the ground.
Don't do it. Just wait till somebody come, Brown.
I'm waiting on his back.
Just wait till somebody come.
You know what they're trying to do with this right here? They're trying to make this another,
Brown.
You ain't on the back of it.
Okay.
You ain't got two on. You know.
Just don't want to mess with you anyway.
I'm about to fight with you, sir. I'm not fighting.
It's a to provoke the officer.
Now
Why can't you just
you want to get on the ground? What do you want?
settle it out?
No.
So what?
He's clearly trying to provoke the officer. I don't know why he can't just follow directions, follow the directive, and then settle it afterwards.
Yeah.
You want the license?
I can't make it.
Right here, it's about to get his back up.
The license, everything.
Let me get a heck of those. The police just put their hands behind your face.
Oh, goodness.
Now, where you catch for more charges? Now, when you ain't told me what the first one was, you were charged, you were speeding at 101 at a 65. Then you would not give me your driver's license for failure to identify. Get me.
People don't know how to act at all. But did y'all see what I saw? Huh? You see how they posted half the video and they didn't show everything? You see how they left out the part the officer explaining to him why he was being arrested? Yeah. And then the lady recording it talking about, y'all ain't gotta do all that. Y'all ain't gotta do all that. Your boyfriend was going 101 on a 65. So yeah, they gotta do all that because that's illegal. And then he was resisting arrest. So yes, they gotta do all that. And then he refused to show the officer his license. So yes, he gotta do all that. They gotta do all that. Like, what was all of that? Come on.
So what do you think? Police brutality or not? Right here.
Oh, that fool had to do was put his hands behind his back. But he not only said no, he actually fought back. Like, you can't do that. Just put your hands behind your back. That's it. And I got calls about stuff like that all the time where people, they would say, well, it was false imprisonment and police brutality. And I look at that and it is not false imprisonment. It is not police brutality. All you had to do was put your hands behind your back. If the officer was wrong, then that would be settled afterwards, and then you could file 50,000 lawsuits.
That is correct.
But if you don't put your hands behind your back and you fight back, you have no claim, zero claim.
So how you deal with people, trying to do a claim, based on this, and then you find out, once you find the details, they don't match. You're pretty just given, bad news. Sorry for you.
So I've been doing claims for 17 years. It's my joy and pleasure to tell people denied.
Wow.
I'm very suited for the job that I have. Very suited.
It's just crazy. Let me. I was showing a little bit of Seattle, Washington, and now I'm gonna go back to Minneapolis.
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
The live feeds are very let me take Elisa, take control of this. I'm gonna find for a live feed.
Okay. So please and thank you. Where are you from? And are there any protests where you are? Linda, are you having trouble with our live feed, or are you having trouble with finding other live feed?
So this right here is from Portland, Oregon.
Well, anyways, I'm still very disturbed by the photo of the kid at the protest.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
I think that it's gonna haunt me this evening. I can't handle stuff that involves children.
Yep. And the thing that I wanna bring up here, so that child that you see in the protest, you see how this is gonna play in her future, how people are gonna like recognize her for, oh, are you the girl that was, because at some point she's gonna say something, and from that moment of her childhood, she's gonna be marked. Every school she go, oh, you're the girl from this, you're the milky, you're the girl with the milk on their face or the protest. And again, Lisa, I don't think that Trump is going to lose the election. You know why? Because we have over 100 million people who are voting. Okay, and the people that are voting are home or are working, and they're looking at the TV and they're seeing all these protests and they're seeing all this looting. And on the midst of all this, they can't wait to make sure that they don't let this happen. We need to continue having a president who's going to be strong, not somebody who can be, easily influenced by the liberal media. So I really hope that President Trump wins a second election. I'm most positive.
Easily, what do you call it? Persuaded by the liberal media, because I totally disagree with that.
I think that he gave them his attention, but I think that before he makes these major decisions, he really thinks about them. He uses all kind of feedback. So I don't know. Why are you saying that?
I think that the coronavirus showed that he can be easily swayed by the liberal media.
Okay.
His actions during that time, the shutdown, all of that, they forced him, they bullied him into it, and he gave in. But I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. He's only human, and he's not a career politician. He's new to the job. But means he's a 100% better choice than Joe Biden. Or what did we call him, Linda? Lion racist Joe Biden. He's way better than him. But
did y'all solve?
I think he can be controlled by the media. He can be influenced by the media. Yes.
Let's go back to Terrence Williams real quick. He got some news to show us real quick.
Wow. Just wow. I'm lost for words. I need everybody to look at this right here. This is not justice. This is straight up mayhem. This is chaos. What in the world did y'all solve by burning down your own neighborhood? What did you solve by ruining somebody else's life? What did you solve by burning somebody's small business down, by burning down Target, burning down AutoZone, breaking into ATM machines, stealing people's money, ruining people's life? What did you solve? Not a damn thing.
Wow.
You ruined other people's lives by burning stuff down. And you want to sit up here and say Black Lives Matter when you done sat up here and ruined a bunch of black people's life by burning their stuff down and by taking people out of a job, by burning down Target and AutoZone and other businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Now people can't pay their bills. Now people don't know how they gonna get food because y'all done burned down a city. Y'all don't give a damn about George Floyd's justice. Y'all never did.
I wanna make a point where he talks about that that those looters destroy those places and other communities. There's a lot of people that, like, for an example, in my community, people in my community, there's people that are retired, that are living their best years now. And it's a big population of retiree people here. And they don't have the capabilities of going 1 hour down the road to pick up groceries. They depend on these local markets close, close nearby, Walmart, Fry's, so they can get their groceries. So it's very sad, in all these neighborhoods. We all have, people that are older, 65, 70s, and they depend on this on these businesses, and it's very sad to see how people just don't think about it. So
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. There'll definitely be a lot of people that will be unemployed for a while.
Yeah.
And that's just so unfortunate. So unfortunate.
Let's get back to the video.
I'm tired of sugarcoating. I'm tired of beating around the bush. I'm going to call it like
I'm gonna grab some water real quick.
bunch of low down, dirty, ghetto thugs, and y'all been criminals, and that's why y'all did this, because you are criminals.
Mm-hmm.
And the police need to go through all this footage, and they need to match faces and lock up every single body who has something to do with this.
But they won't.
Throw their asses in jail. Excuse my language, but I'm pissed the hell off. This is America. Y'all acting like we in some third world country. Y'all shit together. Burning stuff down. What did it solve? Nothing. All y'all care about is yourselves. That's all you care about.
So you think that these people, I really think that people doing this kind of, actions, they're so selfish, so evil, so self-centered. I can't believe myself living in this neighborhood. What can you do if you live in these neighborhoods, if your home is right here, and then they're burning your building? What you do?
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. And they didn't just burn that, like they burned cars. So it's like, some people, not only can they no longer walk to get groceries or whatever, but now they can't even drive further away. They don't have a store to walk to. They don't have a car to drive in. They just totally screwed the people that live there.
Wow. Let's finish it. 1 minute more.
You don't care about nothing else. That's why you stole TVs. That's why you broke into stuff. That's why you stole money, because you care about yourself. You took advantage of the situation. Oh, yeah. You took advantage. You used his name and his death as an excuse to commit criminal activities. And if I was a business owner in that city, I wouldn't bring my business back to that city. I wouldn't give y'all a dang thing. I wouldn't create one job in that city. Because y'all don't care. So sad.
So what do we think? You think Target, Amazon are going to come back to those cities?
Only if the local government pays them to, like with subsidies and stuff.
Yeah, well, the one thing that I've seen on the news is that Target, Amazon, and Apple are scaling back. They already put it. They already put statements. Target, Apple, and Amazon-owned Whole Foods are among the retailers that announced they will shutter locations temporarily or adjust stores' hours around citywide curfews. So they're coming out. They are changing their hours, and all this because we cannot make liable the people that live in the cities. What can you tell them? You cannot tell people in the city, go defend your city, go defend your grocery stores, when the government have taken their second right amendments strict from them. Most of these people live in places where it's very difficult for you to get a weapon. Like in New Jersey or New York, if you want to get I think in New Jersey, I think Lincoln from New Jersey, I believe one of the requirements of getting a CCW, carry concealed weapon permit, is to write an essay. What the heck is that? Um,
Considering that a lot of Black organizations like NAACP and things like that, they always complain that a lot of things like getting certain jobs or going to certain universities or like even applying to be a police officer is biased against Black people because they have to write essays, but they don't have any complaints about, exercising your second Amendment right, requiring you to write an essay.
Yeah.
Like these people are jokes. The inconsistency is horrible.
I'm about to show you a video named "Values Matters, Race Doesn't." What do you think about that? Do you think that values matter more than race?
Yes. Like I said yesterday, being Black is a part of me, but it is not all of me.
Okay. That is.
I am Lisa. Well, I'm a Christian first. I'm Lisa second. I'm a North Carolinian third. Black is like fifth or sixth.
Wow. Okay. Let's listen to this. I don't want in the chat. If you see something on the chat, let me know. I'm looking at Linda right now.
Fighting for us to have the right to our opinion, not the right to vote for whoever the white liberals said Black people are supposed to vote for. You get what I'm saying? And then James Corden went in and said, well, this president, you're Christian, and this president, I don't see anything Christian about it. I said, okay, so last year y'all tried to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm Black. Now this year, white liberals trying to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm Christian. That would be like, I live in Calabasas, so everyone in my car's got to be a convertible, huh? Right. It's just all based on y'all vision of what I'm supposed to do. We are in a...
Wow, your vision of what I'm supposed to do. Is that a big problem in America?
Yes. Especially in the Black community. We're constantly being told, how we should think, how we should feel. And I just don't agree with that. I don't need anybody telling me anything ever.
It's very sad. In my case, because I'm Puerto Rican as well, I get the same thing. When I go to like a new location, like when I first got to my job, people, in the office, they talk about politics, what we weren't supposed to, but we still do. And then I remember the first time that I was like defending Trump or telling them, hey, I'm a conservative guy. They're looking at me like, are you? And then they're like, are you? I'm like, what? Are you Puerto Rican? It was like, are you Puerto Rican or not? I was like, yeah, what do you think I am, dumbass?
Country where we allowed to like whatever we like. 7 years in, 6 years in to the Obama administration, when I was sitting at the Met balls, when I was sitting in front of white people and they thought, I wouldn't thought you would like Trump because of the racism. So you mean to tell me I make every decision based off my color? The most racist thing a person could tell me is that I'm supposed to choose something based on my race.
On a lot of stuff, we're going to have to agree to get.
What do you think about that?
I don't think Trump is racist. I do not believe that. People are taking it started with his comment about illegal immigrants coming across the border. And they just showed one clip of him saying that something about rapists and murders. But the big picture and the full video was this was a conference about crime and securing the border. And somebody asked him a question that he responded to. So it was not racist in any form or fashion. If it's a conference about crime, then yeah, you want to address rapists and murderers. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. So much.
But he never said that all people crossing the border were rapists and murderers. He was just responding to a question, and he was concerned about rapists and murderers. It's like totally different. And that's how the whole he's racist thing got started. But he's not. The only time he became racist to the eyes of the rest of the public is when he became president. Before then, he was cool.
Yeah, before that he was cool on WWE. He was mentioning every rapper song, you know, he was all over the place. He was a playboy, you know. Everybody wanted to be Trump, you know. But as soon as he start, you know, running for you know, or having the idea, then out of the sudden, oh, you're white, you're racist, you know.
Right.
Disagree, because I think we're gonna walk out the door with the same way that we walked in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I've been saying. Let's agree to disagree, and I'm fine with that. I'm here to celebrate you. God is showing that you can have your own thoughts, bro. I've been canceled before there was cancel culture. Who told you that my career would be over? The same people that are telling you that you can't have a right to say who you will vote for, those people will be soon to take Jesus out to school. Wake up, Mr. West, wake up, culture. Wake up. Everybody think they so woke, but they following the rules of what woke's supposed to be.
Damn, that's powerful right there. So
yeah,
and I wanted to show you something.
Path to follow.
What
It
is-
turns out
Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
I recently discovered something
Amen.
startling about myself. It turns out that I'm a racist, sexist, misogynist. This came as quite a shock to me. How did this happen? As a person of color, a single woman with a graduate degree who grew up poor in a home without a father, I had a clear political path to follow, and I followed it. I voted for Barack Obama twice. After all, we share the same skin color. His father was from Africa. Mine was too. What other reasons did I need? I was inspired to see a Black man rise to the highest office in the land. I believed his ascent would herald a new beginning, a new era of racial healing and harmony. We would finally have that frank discussion about race that everyone always talks about. I was also inspired by his wife. I was thrilled to see such a strong, opinionated Black woman take the national stage. But then something happened. Actually, several somethings. I realized there was a big contradiction in my own life. I considered myself a free thinker, but I was thinking exactly what I was supposed to. I decided to start asking questions. I belonged to several campus feminist groups. I was even teaching feminism to inner city girls. Part of that teaching involved making the case for abortion. These girls needed to know that they had the right to make decisions about their own bodies. Surely, I thought, that's empowerment. But one day I asked myself, isn't it men who benefit most from consequence-free sex? Doesn't that give them even more power over women? And of course, abortion certainly doesn't empower the woman it prevents from ever being born. When I began to ask my other feminist friends how they reconcile these issues, they just got angry. I was called anti-woman, even by progressive men. But I'm not anti-woman, I thought. I am a woman. I just don't want to be a weak one. I want to be strong, like Michelle. At about the same time, while I was a student at the University of Texas at Dallas, the UT Austin Department of African Diaspora Studies released a statement in which they said, and I quote, African Americans are disproportionately affected by the saturation of our society by firearms. We demand that firearms be banned in all spaces occupied by Black people.
What do you think about that? You know, they come with a study. They come here say, you know, Black population is being affected by this. Let's ban weapons where Black people gathers. You know, I don't think that's that is fair for people.
That's not fair. You either, well, I'm not for a ban, but if you're gonna do that, why would you specifically put where Black people are?
Yeah.
I mean, are you just saying that we can only be corrupt in certain places? We can't go where the white people are because names may be present.
This is just, dumb, Let's see.
On our campus. Wait a second, I thought. Why would you want to ban firearms only in Black areas? Doesn't that mean that you either think Black people are more dangerous than other people or less worthy of protection? These questions did not endear me to my progressive friends. I was called a race traitor, even by white people. But I'm not anti-Black. I am Black. I just want to be safe, like Barack. I realized I didn't have a good answer. I only had more questions. Like, why were Blacks doing so poorly in cities that had been run by Democrats for decades? Was it racism and sexism that was holding people back? Or was it something else? The more questions I asked, the less popular I became. But here's the funny thing. I started to feel better about myself. I decided that the very definition of empowerment required me to take responsibility for my own life. I wasn't going to be anyone's victim, which meant I had to protect myself. So I bought a gun. I started to advocate for gun rights. That cost me more friends. I joined the pro-life movement and walked in the March for Life. More friends, gone. Then I crossed the line. I voted Republican, the party that views me as an empowered individual, able to shape my own destiny, not as a member of a victim group. And that's how I became a racist, sexist, misogynist. I'm Antonia Okafor for Prager University.
What do you think? I think she did an amazing job with that video.
Yeah, I think she did too. I absolutely think she did. But yeah, I definitely don't need anybody to tell me how I should think or feel. I'm very much against that. I'm very independent, free thinker. God has given me free will, and I utilize it daily.
Let me put a link to that video in our page. So if somebody wants to go see it after the fact, the link is right here. So anyway, Linda, what do you think? Do we want to wrap it up? It's been about 2 hours that we've been here. That way I can upload this to my podcast. So feeling good about it today?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Linda, Lisa, don't go off the phone yet. I wanna talk to you in a second. So guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys been amazing. Linda, stay strong, okay? You continue to do these amazing things for the chat. So keep it real, okay? And be safe over there. So well, guys, you guys are amazing. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in our next video. Bye.